So yep, as you can see, it's me, Lila, GMAR Rides, back again. I did something interesting a couple years ago, and retrospectively, I decided to take you back with me and wanted to show you the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Blue Ridge Parkway specifically. They're the oldest mountains in America, according to Wikipedia, and they're folding mountains. Did you know that? They comprise 2% of the entire mass of the state of South Carolina and are in the Appalachian Mountain Range. It used to be called the Appalachian Scenic Highway. Sorry about that. Anyway, there's also a couple more interesting facts I'm going to share with you. I really enjoyed this road. There was so much to see there. We went through 26 tunnels all told. 25 of them are in North Carolina, and there is one in Virginia, being Bluff Mountain. At 469 miles, it's the longest linear United States park. And it took us 3 days, I'm going to say, to get the entire length of it. There were some parts that were closed, so you had to detour off and then go back on. But it was pretty amazing. There is no commercial vehicles allowed on the Blue Ridge Parkway, so that was really nice too. It was all people that wanted to get there and see stuff, and not a lot of people hauling things, which is always nice when you're on a motorcycle. The speed limit, though, is only 45 miles an hour at the most in most of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and sometimes it's slower because there's some corners, and they were a lot of fun too. But anyway, it mostly avoids the larger towns, and the only towns that you are going to see mostly, larger center-wise, is going to be Roanoke, the town of Boone, and Asheville, where I would highly recommend looking at the Biltmore Estate. You can get off of the Blue Ridge Parkway and go check that out. We did that, and I was just amazed. I knew before we left home I wanted to see the Biltmore. And as a matter of fact, if you go back on my channel, you'll find a tour that we did of the Biltmore Castle. And there's a lot of footage there, and it was just gorgeous. Yeah, but the other way that I'm going to use up some time on the rest of this little tour here is I'm going to talk to you about my upcoming something interesting that's going on. As you may or may not know, this Friday I'm going to be hitting the road with some friends, and we're going to be going down and staying in Oregon and then wandering along the coast of California through the redwoods and down to San Francisco, and then we're going to shoot off over towards Vegas and the Grand Canyon. It's going to be hotter than blue blazes, so I'm going to take along a cooling vest and some other methods of keeping myself cool. Yeah, because when we were doing this trip that you're seeing now, it was wicked hot. A lot. Really, really hot. To the point where my tire alarms were going off all the time. Yeah. I mean, that was the first experience I'd ever had with a tire pressure monitoring system, so I really didn't have a basis of comparison to, fall back on, because, I mean, you either have a flat tire or you don't in my previous experience. But yeah, I'm a little bit more road aware now as far as tires go, because it seems like every other trip I'm blowing through a back tire. I mean, not blowing through as in, having a flat, but needing a new tire. I need new tires a lot on my bike. I don't know. But anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, and you haven't been bored to tears and clicked off of this, would you please drop me a comment and subscribe if you haven't, because it does help the YouTube algorithm, and it would personally make me just tickled pink to see more subscriptions. So yeah, that would be great. And you can leave a thumbs up while you're out messing around with that stuff too, okay? Okay, I don't know why this is getting dark here. But anyway, it was a great ride when we were down there. So I think I told you it took us about 3 days. And one of the days we did get off and go see the Biltmore. And I believe at the end of this, we wound up in Maggie Valley. And we went and saw the Wheels Through Time Museum. Oh, and this is a really important stop right here. I think this is the Devil's Backbone, but I'm not sure. Could be a different stop. We saw so many of these little scenic spots, and every one of them looked so cool. And we'd pull over and be like, oh yeah, wow, that's really cool. Okay, let's go. But I think on this one I had to adjust my camera if I remember correctly. Oh, yep, there I am. Fully geared up and fixing my camera. Yeah, when you go certain speeds, I have my camera set up on my mirror in this video. And it kind of kept like tipping back so it was looking at the sky. So I just wanted to check and make sure it wasn't going to fall off. Man, my helmet looked a lot better in those days, didn't it? Of course, that was a couple years ago, and I think I just bought it like maybe 6 months before I took this trip. But yeah, when you're in, when you're on the Blue Ridge Parkway, there's a lot of different things to see. And in Virginia, at milepost 0 at Rockfish Gap, there's some hiking to do. There's a spot called Humpback Rock, and it's a self-guided trail, which of course we didn't take, but there's a lot of farming areas that you could like go look around there, and like old farms, and I think there was a cemetery that we went past. I don't remember if it was this early on or not, but it was really pretty. There's a place called Whetstone Ridge where, you guessed it, mountain men used to go and get the finest whetstones that they could find. Yep, it's a big deal, I guess, or was back in the day. Yankee Horse Ridge is where a hard-riding Union soldier's horse fell and had to be shot. I think that there's a lot of that happened on this. Things would be arbitrarily named for a thing that happened there. At about, I think it was milepost 114, because they do have the milepost markers on the side of the road, so you can kind of watch for things, so that's pretty convenient. We took a little bit of a hike, or I did, and they have this really nice rock thing that you could go step on, and it was nice and flat, and I was able to get out there and see the entire valley, and it was just gorgeous. That sounds familiar, and you're going to see just gorgeous and beautiful, breathtaking view, probably a lot more before this video is over. There's even a place called Right Smart View. Can you imagine? Because it had a smart view, and that's the name of it. There's a nearby cabin that was built in the 1890s, and the dogwoods bloom there in early May. We weren't there in May, but it was still a pretty beautiful spot. The funniest part we saw was Groundhog Mountain. Yes, Groundhog Mountain. We didn't see any groundhogs. We did see evidence of them, though, so there was that. When you get over into North Carolina, there's the Cumberland Knob, which has a nice little picnicky spot where we stopped for snacks. And I don't think I caught that on camera because, I don't know. I'm just kind of going through and finding some facts for you and some things that I remember. It's been a long time, though, so I'm cheating a little bit. But yeah, isn't this beautiful? See, told you. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that during this video. In the Blue Ridge Parkway, there's Mount Mitchell State Park, which is the highest point east of the Mississippi River, and it is on this road. Sorry, my bad. Glass Mine Falls is an 800-foot ephemeral waterfall visible from an overlook on the side of the parkway. Wow, direct quote there, but I do recall seeing that, and it was, again, beautiful. Mount Pisgah used to be part of the Biltmore Estate, and then the estate became home to the first forestry school in America, and the nucleus of the Pisgah National Forest. I'm probably saying that wrong, huh? But it was a cute little town, too, and there's a looking glass rock which is visible from many spots on the parkway, starting at Mount Pisgah. Then there's another spot that's called the Devil's Courthouse, There's also a wilderness area, including Cold Mountain. There's a lot of Cherokee traditions around there, so I think that some of their things were named for that sort of thing. There's also a mythical Cherokee giant called, I'm going to butcher this name, Sulkalu, Tsul''Kalu. And I'm not going to try and butcher that one again. Also on the parkway is Richland Balsam. That's another spot, and it's the highest point on the parkway at 6,053 feet. And there's also another self-guided trail there. There's a remnant of a spruce and fir forest. Blah, blah. There's also a place called Licking Ridge, which I thought was pretty funny. No, you dirty-minded people. The area earned its name from the cattlemen who would place rocks of salt into logs and holes in the earth. If you've made it to mile marker 451, you'll have gotten to Water Rock Knob, which provides a panorama of the Great Smokies, the visitor center, a trail, a comfort station, aka bathrooms, folks. Although I have to say that there were plenty of bathrooms along the way, so yeah, that wasn't too much of a problem at all. Hinatuga Ridge Road runs north from the parkway, 8.8 miles. into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is another cool area to go to. We rode a little bit through that also, and again, it didn't disappoint. I hope I haven't bored you too much with all of these facts about the Parkway. It began during the administration of Franklin D. Roosevelt and was called, like I told you earlier maybe, the Appalachian Scenic Highway. And plans were made so that you could go in and see cool stuff in the mountains without being too destructive to the surrounding areas themselves. In 1967, Lyndon Johnson signed a bill to extend the Parkway. A 5-year schedule was proposed with a budget, and in 1970, planning was interrupted by commercial development in the proposed path. But like I said earlier, I hope that I haven't bored you too much with all these facts. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Did I tell you anything about my trip? Yeah, I did. Never mind. Sorry, it's been a long video. I don't usually do this much voiceovering. I hope you've enjoyed it, though, and like I said earlier, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. Okay? Okay. And I will think about you guys while I'm out on the road, and I will be sure to take lots of cool pictures and lots of videos on my brand new camera, because yes, I have a new camera. It's a 10. I've got all of the little things to set it up, and I just want you guys to go out and go take a vacation to the Blue Ridge Parkway. You won't be disappointed. I loved it. I want to do it again. I will go back again, of course, because there's not been too many places that I've been to that I wouldn't want to go back again. Yeah, but that's a whole different story. But if you do go in and have a look on the computer, let's see, Blue Ridge features heavily on Wikipedia, okay?